CM Punk has AEW by the balls. The company launched a whole show and split up its entire rosters for little old Phil, and they may or may not have even booked the United Center, only for Punk to leave them hanging, embarrassing Tony Khan yet again, this time in front of Warner Brothers Discovery executives. Punk's latest meltdown is reportedly because Ace Steel is still in timeout. If CM Punk gets cold feet again, AEW might need a new venue and a new game plan for Collision. AEW is stuck, and they pretty much have to capitulate to CM Punk's demands because TK has simped for Punk to this point, so now's not the time to finally grow a spine and push back on anything. It's too late to be a leader because instead, a long time ago, Tony Khan decided he was going to be a simp. You got into the CM Punk business? Now you've got to deal with these CM Punk problems. Hi, welcome to Pro Wrestling Bits. Have a seat, subscribe, check me out on Forbes, and don't touch anything. CM Punk is untouchable in AEW, and he knows it. Punk is like Ja Morant without the suspensions. That's why he showed up to Raw knowing AEW needs him to fill up the United Center and move forward with Collision. That's why CM Punk is pulling his latest carny wrestling stunt by reportedly pulling out of the AEW Collision announcement. This forced AEW to scramble and remove Punk's name and likeness from all their graphics. Cousin Phil's change of heart also ruined Tony Khan's latest announcement on Dynamite. Shit, now that CM Punk is gone, Tony Khan's announcements are the only drawing cards AEW has left. 814,000 viewers later, that's not the case anymore, and it won't be after Wednesday's debacle. Tony Khan's announcement was probably set to have something to do with CM Punk or the United Center, but instead, this week's major announcement was pretty much, come back next week when we hopefully have our shit together. Tony couldn't announce the United Center because he finds himself in yet another stalemate with Cousin Phil. Tough shit, Tony. What, you're gonna shut down the United Center because of Uncle Ace? That's the hill you're willing to die on after months of spineless leadership? Get the fuck out of here. Cousin Phil and Uncle Ace are coming back to your little wrestling company, whether you like it, know it, or not. Assuming CM Punk and Ace Steel still want back in, and after going all in on T.O. Punk, Tony Khan better hope to God Punk plays ball, because it's too late for Tony to draw a line in the snow. Even if CM Punk eventually does come back to work, it's not like he's a changed man or he's starting on a clean slate. He literally just lashed out at the media on IG again, just like he lashed out at the media at the AEW media scrum at All Out. This is the exact same version of CM Punk that flamed out before. He's as wound up and as paranoid as ever, and you think this movie's gonna have an alternate ending? You thought. There's an old saying that you date the stripper, you don't marry her. Spiritually, CM Punk is a sports entertainment stripper, a pro wrestling pole dancer whose immense talents are offset by almost 2 decades of baggage. Yet Tony Khan keeps bending over backwards for CM Punk only to get his back blown out at every turn. Pause. Instead of knowing when to cut bait, or even knowing better than to bring CM Punk into his locker room in the first place, Tony Khan now finds himself at the mercy of one of the most volatile wrestlers in history. Basically, Tony Khan is just out here simping. Tony didn't just marry the stripper, he bought her a whole altar with AEW Collision, which was reportedly supposed to take place in the United Center, in CM Punk's hometown of Chicago. Because in AEW, if you're a big enough star, you can embarrass the company time and again, and they'll fuck around and give you a home field advantage. That's one way to pronounce inferiority complex. But what did this stripper do when T-Pain Khan fell in love with her? Stripper Punk hung his ass out to dry. A stripper might go on a spontaneous trip to Las Vegas on the same night she was supposed to meet your parents, and there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it because you cannot control a stripper. Tony Khan is really out here trying to make an honest pro wrestler out of Cousin Phil, but you can't turn a pro into a housewife. Tony Khan ignored one CM Punk red flag after another, dating back to Punk's time with WWE. Khan was burned by CM Punk in 2022 at the Brawl Out, and he got burned several times this year, whether it was IG Punk wilding out, CM Punk showing up to WWE Raw, or CM Punk not showing up in the AEW Collision graphics. Think about that for a second. CM Punk has become so controversial, the man's no-shows are digital. He's like a toxic ChatGPT. If you don't want your internet to be toxic and prone to identity theft, check out today's sponsor, Aura. Have you ever Googled yourself only to be shocked to find all the personal, detailed information that's about you? Man, I just Googled my cousin and I couldn't believe all the detailed information about him that popped up on all these people search websites. And guess what? He couldn't believe it either. Data brokers are making a fortune selling your information to robocallers, spammers, and others who want to learn more about you, like where you live. That's why I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, Aura. Aura can identify data brokers exposing your information and submit opt-out requests on your behalf. Brokers are legally required to remove your information if you ask them, but a lot of them make it really hard, and it's not as easy as just hitting the unsubscribe button. Let Aura handle that for you. It's really easy to set up, so you don't have to download several different apps to get things like parental controls, antivirus, VPN, password management, identity theft insurance, and more. You get everything at one affordable price. I do it all: Forbes, Wrestling Inc., StreamYard, Pro Wrestling Bits, so I've got a lot of logins. And Aura's password management is the best password manager I've ever dealt with. So user-friendly. Let Aura do the hard work of keeping you safe online so you can focus on other tasks with peace of mind. You could either let people continue to exploit you and profit off your private information, or you can go to aura.com/PWB to start your free 2-week trial, also linked in my description. If CM Punk falls through, so does AEW Collision. Collision will already render AEW Rampage a lame duck show, but without CM Punk, Collision could be a lame duck show before it even begins. CM Punk aside, look at this roster they're teasing. Thunder Rosa, Andrade, House of Black, Miro. It's like a who's who of who's frustrated in AEW. Is that the strategy for Collision? Build a roster of malcontents to compare notes about why they hate it here too? You know, the first match on Collision should be a reverse Money in the Bank ladder match where the winner gets a hold of an AEW contract that they get to tear up at any moment over the next year. This is a value of good leadership. Tony Khan sat quietly like a coward while the situation simmered since September. All he ever had to do was sit down, man up, air things out, and make a decision. He did none of those things. Tony Khan tried to make everybody happy, and now everybody's on edge because nobody knows what's going on. Motherfuckers don't know if it's gonna be a hard brand split, a soft brand split, a medium chub, nothing. This situation could have been resolved in the span of one conversation, but instead, Tony Khan tried to work around the elephant in the room, and now a show that has no business premiering in the first place is already in trouble. Check out this CM Punk playlist and subscribe for updates on his next blow-up. Will CM Punk ever make it to AEW? Tell me in the comments!